You're in tune to the Paperflip Real Estate Podcast.
Buyers, sellers, and investors, it is Lloyd for Real Estate. Welcome to the Paperflip Podcast. You're thinking about buying a home in the Windy City or the surrounding suburbs, you're in the right place. On this channel, I break down the latest market trends and answer your questions and help you make smart moves in today's real estate market. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Now, today's episode is a deep dive, so grab your coffee, get settled in, and let's talk about what's really happening in Chicago real estate, especially if you're a buyer. We'll cover the headlines, the data, the neighborhoods, and the practical steps you need to take to succeed in this market. Now let's start with what everyone's talking about, the supposed housing crash. If you've seen those stories, you might be wondering if home values in Chicago are about to take a hit. Now here's the simple truth. The data doesn't point to a crash. What we're seeing is slow, continued growth. And of course, every neighborhood is different. Some Chicago markets will see prices rise more than others, and a few might experience small, short-term declines. But the big picture is this. Home prices are expected to rise nationally, and here in Chicago, not fall, over the next 5 years. So what do the experts say? Every quarter, Fannie Mae runs the Home Price Expectation Survey, gathering insights from over 100 leading housing market experts. The latest report is out, and the consensus is clear. Prices are projected to climb nationally through at least 2029. Overall, prices are expected to rise about 15% from now through the end of 2029. The optimists say we'll beat that and see a roughly 26% increase. Even the pessimists anticipate prices will go up by 5% during that period. So what stands out? None of these groups are forecasting a crash or even a decline over the next 5 years. Let's zoom in on Chicago. Now, the market here has cooled off a bit from the crazy days of the pandemic, but remains relatively stable. Home prices are still appreciating modestly, and the inventory remains tight, creating a slightly competitive environment for buyers. The median sales price in Chicago metro area in May 2025 was around $379,900, a 5.5% increase from the $360,000 in May of 2024. In the Chicago area, the median sales price was $315,000, up from 5% from last year. Inventory is up slightly with 13,195 homes for sale in the metro area, a 3.4 increase over the last year. So while sales are down a bit, prices are still going up. It's not the double-digit growth we saw a couple of years ago, but it's still appreciation. Now, this suggests that demand is still relatively strong, even with higher mortgage rates. Chicago is a city of neighborhoods, and some are seeing especially strong growth. Let's highlight a few of them. Logan Square and Avondale. These trendy areas have seen price growth of 18.5% recently, thanks to their vibrant art scene and walkability. Westtown and near Westside has that historic charm and new developments that have driven a 17% increase. Now in Uptown, prices grew by 22% in 2024, outpacing the city average. Now let's take a look at the South Side neighborhoods. Inglewood, Greater Grand Crossing, and South Chicago have seen major revitalization and price spikes, some over 60% in the past year. Lakeview, Bucktown, and Lincoln Park, these remain perennial favorites for buyers with strong demand and quick sales. If you're looking for value and growth potential, emerging areas like Hermosa and Garfield Park are worth a look. Suburbs like Mount Prospect and Schaumburg also show steady appreciation. Chicago's housing supply is tight, but not as tight as some coastal cities. Inventory is up a bit, but demand remains strong, especially in neighborhoods with good schools, amenities, and transit access. The average Chicago home goes pending in about 17 days. About 41% of sales are over list price, showing strong competition. Median rent is around $2,213, which is comparable to a mortgage payment on a $320,000 home. For buyers, this means you need to be prepared to act quickly and decisively. Well-priced properties in popular neighborhoods often face multiple offers. So let's get practical. Now, here are my top tips for buyers in Chicago. And for one, you want to get pre-approved early. Sellers want to see that you are serious. A pre-approval letter gives you a competitive edge. Number two, you want to know your budget. Factor in property taxes, HOA fees, insurance, and a rainy day fund for repairs. Number three, define your must-haves. And it could be location, parking, in-unit laundry, work-from-home space, pet policies, and schools that all matter to you. Number four, research neighborhoods. Now, visit at different times of day, check walkability scores, and talk to some of the locals in the area. Number five, you want to be able to act fast, but don't skip your due diligence. Schedule inspections, review HOA rules, and check for recent updates on the home. And number six, negotiate smart. Use comps, keep contingencies for inspection and appraisal, and don't be afraid to walk away if the deal just don't sit right with you. And number seven, consider assistance programs. They are out there. Chicago offers down payment help for qualified buyers up to $20,000 in some cases. Remember, you're going to date the rate, but you're going to marry the price. You can always refinance later, but the price you pay is locked in. Now let's walk through this whole process. First off, you want to assess your finances. Keep checking your credit score. Make sure you're saving for a down payment and set a realistic budget for yourself. Number two, get pre-approved. Now, again, this shows sellers that you are ready, and it helps you to know what your price range is. And number three, find an agent. Work with someone who knows Chicago's neighborhoods and also the market trends. And for number four, start your search. Use MLS alerts, tour homes, and make sure you're taking notes. Number five, make an offer. Base it on comps and market conditions. Make sure you include contingencies for inspection, financing, and also appraisal. Number six, inspection and appraisal. Now, you definitely don't want to skip these. They protect you from those unwilling surprises. And number seven, close the deal. Make sure you review all documents, finalize your loan, and then get the keys. Now, after closing, file for the Cook County home owner exemption to reduce your property taxes. Chicago's market is recovering from the pandemic. While luxury condos downtown are still finding their footing, so to say, suburban homes and affordable neighborhoods are seeing a strong demand. The city's diverse economy, robust rental market, and relatively accessible price points make it attractive for both first-time buyers and also investors. Over the next 5 years, expect steady, sustainable growth. Now, experts forecast annual price increases of 2 to 3.5%. It's slightly below the historic average, but much healthier than the rapid spikes of 2020 and 2022. Let's answer a few common questions I get from buyers. I get often asked, is now a good time to buy? The answer is yes, if you're ready. Yes, if you're ready. Now, prices are rising, but at a manageable pace. Waiting could mean you end up paying more later. Another question, which neighborhoods are best for first-time buyers? You can take a look at Logan Square, Avondale, Hermosa, and the South Side areas for value. Now, Lakeview, Bucktown, and Lincoln Park are great for amenities, but they are more competitive. Another question, how do I compete in a multiple offer situation? Well, first off, make sure you get pre-approved. And once you've done that, act fast and consider waiving minor contingencies, but never skip the inspection or the appraisal process. So here's my final thoughts. Here's the bottom line. If you've been waiting to buy because you're worried about a crash, it's time to look at the data, not the headlines. The real question isn't if the home prices will rise, it's by how much. If you want to know what's happening in your Chicago neighborhood and what these forecasts mean for you for your next move, make sure you reach out to me. I'm here to help you make sense of it all and guide you through every step of the buying process. Thanks for tuning in to the Paper Flip Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, give it a thumbs up, share with a friend, and leave your questions in the comments below. Till the next time, stay informed and stay confident in your Chicago home search.